All right. Okay. So we're live now. So jumping on here real quick because I have a few dead minutes here, and I ran into a huge problem, and I think I know. I know exactly what happened. So I have these items. I have Gmails, let's call them Gmail task, doesn't matter. They're Gmails that are labeled as strategies. And these are what you would think they are. They're strategies, things I want to work on to remember. And what I did was I made a mistake. I took all the, let me back up a second. So I have some active strategies that were in my inbox. And then I have some old Gmails that still have the label, but they're not in the inbox. They're just basically kind of what you would consider to be archived or moved into that label. So if I go to that view, I'll see them. But they really weren't in my way or anything. I didn't want to go clean them up or anything because I didn't have to. Because I could distinguish the ones that are live or active because they were all in the inbox. But what I wanted to do was to take those and snooze them until tomorrow just to kind of get them out of my way. But I want to see them tomorrow. So what I think I did is I selected all of the emails with this flag, but that included the old ones. And now they're all snoozed until tomorrow. So what happens is tomorrow they're all going to flood my inbox. So I'm in trouble. And so now what I need to do is I need to, I guess, archive. I think what I want to do with the ones that I could say move. I could just move them to, I don't really even know. Actually, to be honest, I don't even know like where they are. Let me try something. I've got a snooze, unsnooze, and move. So these are in a strange place because when something is snoozed, it's, if I unsnooze it, it probably goes into the inbox. If I snooze it, then I can snooze it for a different time. These are all snoozed right now. And then you can move. You can do what's called move, which is moving it to move to a like a label or a folder. But you're basically, when you move something, it has the label, but I think it's pretty much the same as archived. I'm not sure exactly, but it's not in the inbox. Okay. So another thing though, if I bring one of these up, if I open it, I should be able to, I can archive it also if I open it up. So I'm not sure what to do yet. So the first thing I need to do is I need to find out where the new ones versus the old ones are. And I think that these look like July 16th, 17th. Okay. So it cuts from July 12th, and then you see a bunch of these from January. And then last year. And I'm going down, and they're getting older and older. Okay, excellent. So now I just need to figure out like what to do. So I want to leave the current ones as being snoozed for tomorrow, but I need to do something with these older ones. And I thought it would be fun. Now that I think about it, it might be fun to go through them. So let's go to the January 8th one. Let me open it up, and it says, am I still spending too much time on Reddit? Okay, so that's like an example of, that's like a strategy I have right now. These things tend to come around because I decide that I'm not going to spend time on Reddit. Now I'm just going to spend time on Reddit. No, I don't want to spend time on Reddit. Same thing with this, guitar, my book. So anyway, this is one that I want to archive. I think I'm going to try this one. Let's see what happens if I archive this. Okay. Now it says message archived. Now let me see if this is the same one. Am I still spending too much time on Reddit? So it says archive now, and the snooze went away. Okay, so bam, there we are. That's the solution. So what I'm going to do is I am going to long press on all the ones below it, and I'm not even going to look at them. Okay, I can't say select all. I could theoretically if there were fewer of them, but it's not that bad. So I'm just going to select all of these, and I can just press on them. If that's the secret, because in some views you don't have the checkbox, but all you have to do is just long press on any item. And so I'm just highlighting all these things, and I'm just going to archive them. And that should just keep them in here. They'll still be in here, but they'll no longer be snoozed. So I'm going back into November, May, and all I have to do is let me go back up, make sure that I'm clean here with all the newer ones. I don't have to do the other January 8th one, and then all the other ones are new. And then, so now I'm going to say archive. And so now they're all still in here. I can still see them, but they're no longer snoozed. Okay. So now if I do want to see the ones, so let me go out of the selection now. So now I'm in the strategy view, and this is the only place I'm going to see them. But really the reason how do I explain this? I snoozed them after looking at them. Well, this is what I thought I was doing. What I did was I went into the strategy view and then did select all just to get them out of my way. But that's not how to do it. Oh, let's test this. Hang on. Because now that I think about it, I thought I did category primary label.s, and then I thought I chose those. Let's try this. Let's try something. Let's do label S. So label S gets me back to that view. But what if I say, I don't know, I think is snoozed? Let's try that. Okay, so now I have a way to get to these, and I can say label S, which is a strategy, and it's snoozed. So basically it's these ones that are kind of active, right? Now, if I let me count these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now what I do is I long press. Select all. Now I get the number of 13. So I'm going to snooze it. Let me snooze it for 4 o'clock or something. Snooze. Or let's say, I don't want to say this weekend. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. We'll say this weekend. Okay. So that snoozed all of these. But let's go now into the strategy view. And we'll see all these things snoozed. Okay. So now we're good. Okay. So now I can go back into that view, that search, which it will save. It'll be at the top. All of your most recent searches are at the top. And it says label S is snoozed. Okay. And now I'm back to the 13. So now I'm going to long press, and I'm going to say select all, and it says 13. And now I'm going to snooze for tomorrow at the 5 a.m. And that's what I want. And now at any time, firstly, I don't even have to go into the label to see these. But if I ever did, I could go into just the strategy view. All these snoozed ones are going to be at the top. But the reason they're at the top is not because they're snoozed. It's because they're newer. and it doesn't matter. I don't care. So I can do that. Or as a better practice, I can go to label S and is snoozed. And now I'm looking at my 13. Now, when I'm in those 13, if I want to review them, I can swipe. So now let's test it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, 13 things. This is a bug. However, it's not like a huge risk here. If I want to go through these strategies, there's a lot of things I can actually do for these things. I can even put a star on them. So let's do this. Let's go. Let's see if I have any stars. I should have stars. Starred. So I've got 4 starred. It says I'm out of bowls, shave please, alcohol, and charging my speaker. Those are all starred because they're going to be, oh, I got a better way to do this. Watch this. So I'm going to go into label S, which is strategy, and it's snoozed. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, I don't think it'll let me star something. It won't let me label it or anything. I can't star something. These people are killing me. But here's the thing, okay? If I'm ever really worried about flipping through and making sure that I'm seeing and catching things, I can do this. I can put a star on it. So this one, let me go through these. So this one it's a strategy, it's a reminder, and it says the average American family will spend $2,800 on vacation, and that's just summer vacation. Now, why do I want to remember that? It's just because I don't take vacation. And because I don't take vacation, I'm able to do other things like everyday luxuries. And it's just kind of a reminder. It's a little bit of an agency thing. It's don't worry so much about money, maybe kind of thing. So I'm going to put a star on that, and I'm going to go to the next one. And then now what I'm doing is I'm using stars just to indicate which ones I reviewed, okay? Speak needs and assess versus videos and streams. So this is a stream, but whatever. Discontinue VPN. That's just another thing. This is a state of mind. So if I'm at work, but I'm having breakfast and I'm watching television, at that moment, there's no difference between my workday and my weekends, or because even if I wasn't working, that's what I would prefer to do. I choose to do that. I love doing it. I love to have. There's actually other reasons why it's good for me to do that too. For example, if I try to multitask when I eat, I will inevitably, it'll take me forever to eat because I'll forget to take a bite and stuff, unless I like set an alarm or a timer or something like that. I hate doing that. So I'd just rather watch TV. It's just very enjoyable. I eat more slowly, which I think is better for your digestion anyway. And so this is just another one. Okay. Help Redditors only when shitting. It is what it is. Here's another one, like working on the language I use and how I think and make it all more compassionate. That's a serious thing that I want to do. And I'm actually thinking about it today because of this reminder. It's really a focus of mine to really, really be sincere and genuine about compassion, about non-judgment, about service, about ego. And then I've got another one. It's called the universe list that I could talk about, but that's just another one. So I'm putting a star on that. Got another one. Make technology work for me instead of the other way around, because I really started freaking out the other day. Another one is, that I may need to or want to review text messages that I sent to myself. And this could be a strategy, or this could be something I actually do right then during when I'm planning my day, or what I call housekeeping. So I'm going to put a star on that. Desk work that doesn't have to be done during business hours is perfect to do in the gaps that are between the gaps of things like pasta and other things. The point is that I will often do Reddit or play guitar while I'm waiting for water to boil, maybe just watch TV. And I don't need to be doing that. I could be picking off these small little things in between waiting for the water to boil and waiting for the pasta to cook. And I should be doing that. If I've got something that takes 5 minutes, pick it off, man. That's 5 minutes off of your backlog. And so that's what that is. I'm going to star that. Then I've got this other thing about flow, and flow is an interesting subject. It's a very, very much a focus of mine, and it's very fresh, very current focus. And the flow has to do with, it's hard to explain. I know there's definitions of flow and people use the term flow, but for me, the best way for me to describe it is in some of the examples of how I've been implementing it. So I left the bakery the other day, and instead of getting in my car and immediately having this between point A and B mentality, which is another strategy, it may even be an active one. I was leaving the bakery. I don't remember. It was on a Saturday, I think, or a Sunday. It doesn't really matter. But I was leaving the bakery, and I was going to be going home. And I just decided just to check, to look at my phone and to see what was kind of coming up next. And it was sort of I don't always want to be looking at my phone when I'm home. It's I don't know how to explain it, but and so I just sat there, and I was thinking, might have been finishing my coffee. I think I was finishing my coffee. Yeah, it says having coffee. So I had my coffee from the bakery, and I'm drinking my coffee in my car instead of drinking my coffee at home and doing it. And it was just oh, okay, I'm going to check what is on my lock screen. What is the next thing that I'm going to do? What's my calendar look like? And I was just kind of getting oriented right there. And it was nice because, number one, it's when I get home, it's not every time I get home. It's I don't want my home to be all about doing streams like this and looking at my phone and organizing things and strategies and even meditation can get old a little bit. It's I just don't want my home life to always be. Sometimes I just want to be home and just be doing stuff. Possibly a better example was when, by the way, the other advantage, when I get in my car or whenever I get out of my car. If I look at my phone when I get in my car, there may be something I need to do, like looking at my odometer. Or it could be, instead of getting out of my car, going into the grocery, and then having to pull over and find a place to sort out my shopping list so I can kind of make, kind of an efficient pass through the grocery. I could just sit in my car for under 1 minute to just go through and just organize everything. Now, here's another advantage. I have in my shopping list it's bizarre, but there's a statement. It says, you have permission. You have permission to go to Target. It's just something that shows up in there. But it doesn't ever help, because once I'm in the grocery, it's I'm usually have perishables and I don't want to spend the extra time to go to Target. I like to get home and get everything in the fridge. It's just it's more of a psychological thing, because My grocery is close enough to where I could go to Target, pick something up quick, go home. So it's not that big of a deal, but I do have it. I have this statement that says, hey, you can go to Target. Well, what if I look at my phone before I even turn my car off? I could literally back out and go to Target right then. So there's a way that you can start to remember things before you even leave. So, there are things that I want to do while I'm out. There are things that I need to be in my car to do. There are things I do inside my apartment. There's things I do outside my apartment. There may be things that I could get done that I didn't even think about. But if I just take a second when I'm in my car and do it. Now, I've got some other examples too. I can't remember, but essentially it's just like, okay, I'm pulling up into my parking spot at my house. And it's like, my normal thing is I'm still between points A and B. I need to get in, moving. I got to get out of the car and get in, and I got to carry all this stuff, and I got to get it all out and go. And sometimes I'm just like, no, maybe I'm listening to something and I want to finish it. Maybe it's I want to just take a look around my car. Maybe there's something I can bring inside. Right now there is something. And while I'm thinking about it, I should go grab this. I need my tripod because I have this idea about borrowing some stages for my social media. So this can go like basically right here in the way of my guitar, basically. And I did want to call some places and see if they could just let me film on their stage, especially during the day. So, and since I'm off on Friday, that might be cool to do, right? And then if they hear me and they like my music and they want me to play there you go. So it's basically my way of auditioning when people don't really have people audition anymore. There's also like lunch and stuff like that people do. And if I'm in there, so yeah, I mean, I might just try to do that. Anyway, whatever. But so flow, that's the idea behind flow. The idea behind flow is, here's another thing with flow. On my phone and with apps and also even with stuff in the kitchen, it's like I always feel like sometimes I spend too much time taking care of my future self. So I may take something out of the cabinet in the kitchen. I might put it right back because that's where it belongs, right? But then the future me just has to take it back out again, my pepper grinder. Pepper grinders need to be out. And the same thing with my phone. I have a concept of breadcrumbs. I call breadcrumbs. Let me do this. Oh, I'm off work now. I have a concept called breadcrumbs, and it's basically a way for me to find my way back to what I was doing if I have to task switch or if I'm in the midst of a complex task. Let me go back here and go through these real quick. And so, but at the same time, sometimes I would just want to use my phone for now. It's like I want to do what I want to do now. And I can kind of clean up other things as I think about it. It's almost like cleaning up things as the water is boiling in the kitchen. It's like just a natural way to use that idle time. Maybe cleaning up and kind of looking at my lock screen, paying attention to kind of what time it is or where we are in the hour, and sort of doing all that stuff just as it kind of makes sense. And as I'm moving between things, maybe I check in with myself, where am I, instead of just always putting things back and then opening these apps again and then closing them and then opening up again. So that's the flow. The flow is more about where I am now and in the current moment and taking care of me now. And then the future me can do the same. It's like the future me can take care of that future me at that point in time, but it might involve having to close a window or something, or maybe even not. Maybe it doesn't even matter. Maybe I don't have to worry about all the windows that are open as long as I'm looking at my lock screen and I know that I can go to Gmail for stuff that can be done. And here's another interesting thing too, is like, this is a little bit of an aside, okay, side note here, but I can link to other things too. So another thing that I'm wanting to do, and this is all about communication. The phone is all about communication. All the tasks are just tasks. Some of them are routine, some of them are as needed, some of them are periodic. Some of them are strategies. It's just, there's all kinds of things, but what you really want to do is like use the tools. And so what do I need to know about my Gmail inbox? And like, let's say, for example, that I do have some must-dos in my Gmail inbox. Now, there's a couple of ways to implement that, but one way would be that if I have any must-dos, that then I decide to only have the must-dos in my inbox. Now, another way to do it is to put stars on the must-dos. Now, if any of those are time sensitive, another way to do it is to schedule them in the calendar, and then you put the star and you snooze them for the next day, because that's how I do my safety net. So that's the idea behind that. The reason I brought that up is just another way, like if all I really need to be in, like to have flow, is to not have artificial constraints and to know what it is I need to remember and where is that. And if I can make my lock screen, and of course I can also use alarms and other things too, but really alarms will draw my attention to things. So I should feel comfortable. I can feel confident that I've got my own back and that an alarm will go off. And so I don't need to look and see if an alarm's going to go off. There's no reason to look and see if I'm going to be alerted for something. But in the calendar and the lock screen, there is definitely a reason to look at this. And you can see that there's a lot of things in here because it's 4 o'clock, and I'll go over these too. Anyway, that's what that one is. And then I'm going to go through the next ones really fast because I just want to test this star process. This is taking care of myself in the present moment as well as in the future, while also trusting that my previous self is taking care of me now, and that there's nowhere else I need to be and nothing else I need to be doing. That's like the anxiety thing. And then discontinue using work laptop for personal things. Now, there's a whole reason why I'm doing that, but it's awesome. Okay, so that is theoretically the last one. And if I go into here, you can see that every one of these has a star. Okay, you can barely see it, but you can see that it has a blue star. And so now I'm good, right? So I want to do that for a couple of times because I know that this swiping in Gmail can be funky, okay? So, but now what I want to do is I want to take all these stars off. So I have to go through and like clean these up, but it's going to take maybe 5-10 seconds. And now they're all done. Okay. So not a big deal to have a nice way to swipe through these. The thing I like about the swiping is you can open these things up because they don't all fit, like they're long descriptions. So it's cool to be able to read the whole thing and then swipe to the next one and read the whole next thing. And since these are strategies, like none of these are critical. If they're really critical and they can like ruin my day, then maybe they really aren't strategies. Maybe they're tasks. I mean, they can be strategies or whatever, but I need to treat them like a task, and it has to be treated like a must-do task, right? So theoretically, strategy should be on the opposite side of the spectrum from like the must-do, critical, damage-causing things if I don't do them, right? Anyway, that's that, and I just wanted to share a couple of those things. And now, if I go into my Gmail inbox, I'll now see some new things that popped up because it's 4 o'clock. I also have things on my lock screen. Lots of text messages that don't count. I got 3 things, which are the 3 things I talked about before. They're now on my lock screen. in addition to those three things that are pretty time sensitive, one of them, two of them being about the gym. One is doing legs and core, and the second one being my headphones and my water bottle. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go to the gym, and then we're going to go from there. So I'm not hungry. So I'm definitely going to go straight to the gym because that's how I roll. That's what I do. I'm going to walk up to the gym. I love being able to walk up to the gym. Just that alone is motivation because it's just so cool that I can walk up to the gym. I just love that. So I walk up there, do my thing, come home. And then at that point, I decide, is it time to meditate or is it time to eat? And then we just go from there. So, and so it's all coming together, and I'm going to keep doing these. I really do think I'm going to keep doing these. I think I like the free form. I like the thing. Oh, this thing I want to share. And oh, by the way, this is connected to this and that other thing. And so I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll